Hi guys, right, so this is one of 5 trees I'm going to be working on today. They're all going to be separate videos, but I've got 4 ash trees and I've got a twin trunked beech tree. It used to be a 3 group. One of the trees, the main tree, died off, so it's now only a 2-tree group. So I'm just going to crack on and get these done. This tree in the pot here, it's been in this pot for probably 5 years. Haven't really done too much with it over the last couple of years. My brother first started styling it many years ago, and you'll note the obvious mistake, which is here. He's made the point at the top rather than being at the bottom, so I may do a bit of carving there just to bring it down and incorporate these 2 dead pieces. I may even bring that in as well, I don't know. I might turn it into a shari almost. Excuse the blackbirds screaming at each other, but they're trying to get their nest sorted out. Right, so just going to give it a bit of a tidy up. It's got all this moss on it, which I'm going to take away and expose the roots. I haven't taken it out of the pot for a while, so it's going to be interesting to see what the roots are looking like at the moment. This is one of my favourite pots. It cracked a couple of years ago in the bad winter that we had, so I just crudely stuck it together. But it's such a nice looking pot that I ignore the crack in it. And none of us are perfect. We've all got our flaws, and this pot's got one, so a little bit of karma there. So I'm just going to scrape off the moss to see what's underneath. There's quite a bit of moss growing on the tree trunk as well. I'll be taking that off of there. There's the trouble with leaving moss on the trunk. It always stays wet and it does rot the wood away. So we'll sort that out. Then we'll do a bit of top dressing and we'll see what we've got. Right, so dispose of the moss. Just going to get my brushes, so brush the moss off of the trunk and off of the roots, so it'll only need to rot in the future. So that bit there, you can probably see that's starting to rot, so I'm going to have to be careful there. That's been wet for too long, so you can see we'll take that back to the good wood. Let's get this off of here. This tree was originally my brother's. He only has a small garden, so as he buys more trees, he tends to bring the odd one or 2 up to my garden, because I've got a much larger garden than his. So if I took you on a tour with the garden, probably about 20% of the trees in the garden belong to my brother, or they belong to us jointly really, because I do most of the care of them. I do most of the watering. He does his share when he can, but possession's 9/10 of the law in England, so in theory they are my trees because I've got possession of them, but that's not the way we work it. I lend him pots, he gives me trees. It's it's a fair way of doing things, and when I'm on holiday he looks after the trees, and same with when he goes on holiday I look after his trees, so it works out well. Right, so we've got one root there which is just flying in the breeze, it snaps off, it's not going to do any good like that, so we'll take him off. See if we can loosen some of this up. Got a few weeds in there. Not sure whether I'm going to take this one out of the pot today or not. It's a bit hot at the moment, so I might just do some work on the top of the tree, but just for preparation for when we got a better day suited for looking at the roots. I'm just going to loosen around the edge a little bit. The thing with ash trees, they do put on a mass of root, so I find they're one of the easier trees to look after. I just tend to pot them up and let them get on with themselves, so I don't really interfere too much with my ash trees. As I say, this has grown basically where it wants. Like all trees, it's now becoming apically dominant. Most of the growth is coming up the top, so really we need this branch and this branch to thicken up a little bit compared to the others, so I'm going to be reducing the top and letting these grow to see what we can do. This one coming up there isn't any good for anything really, so we'll take that one off. So we'll just let that one grow and this one grow. So what I'm going to do, I'm taking off all of the dominant buds on the ends of the branches. That will invite more back budding. So
hi lovely fishy. Hello.
That's the missus shouting at the fish. So she's just ruined the video for me. Thank you very much, darling. I'm videoing. That's your voice all over it. As you can tell, she likes the koi carp very much. I sometimes think she likes the koi carp better than she likes me. So, cutting back all the dead stubs, taking off the apical buds so they force the tree to back bud. There we go, let's get rid of that one there. I'm trying to do a video.
Oh, sorry.
You've ruined it.
Okay.
What are my YouTube fans going to think of you?
No, that's okay. You can turn on down. I can make
silent.
I can erase the voice.
Okay.
Yeah, darling.
Yes.
That one off. It's touching now to the.
Well, pull it back for me.
Yeah.
Okay, I will sort that. Don't worry.
I want to have what we call it one? It's the internet word. It's a big like a here.
A lot of my brother's pruning is very crude compared to mine. He tends to leave long stubs on his. I like to trim them back, so that's what I'm doing here. Just going through, taking off any stubs of the branches that don't look nice into my eye. I can't get into there, but let's take that off. Just open up the There we go, that's one way of getting that one off. Same with that one, hopefully I don't take the bud off as well. It's got that. Right, so there's a few little knobbles on the branches that I don't like the look of, so they can come off. Right, around here, where do I see it? We've got this branch here where we've got two buds, one underneath each other. Certainly get rid of the one nearest to the fork of the branch. Just tidy those pieces up. And that one. Right, so I think I'll shorten the length of that branch. I'll shorten that. Take that back as well. Let's take off that apple bite there. Right. So I'm not sure what he had as the front of the tree. That is certainly leaning back away from the viewer. So that would be the back of a normal tree, and then this would come towards the front. So probably that is the front, which means it's in the pot the wrong way round, but we can live with that for now. So this is only in training at the moment. I think I'll put this into a round pot eventually, and then obviously you can make the front wherever you want. So I think the next thing to do, let's just nip into here and we'll see what we can do. Excuse all the screaming and shouting in the background. Let's see what we can do with this. Let's just nibble this away a bit. That's too hard for that there. Let's try the large pear. That's better. I'm just going to take small chunks out as I go, nothing too major. You've got the deadwood to cope with from where the branches come off before. That's very hard, so you just need to be a little bit careful with the cutters. Move away those edges. There we go. Right, let's try smaller ones for this bit here. Get in there. Excuse me, I just need to take a drink. My throat's starting to get dusty. Right, I should really be doing this with a grinding tool really, but I don't have one at the moment. So I'll just see what I can do with the tools I have got. It's not the best way of doing things, but needs must. Better. Get a chunk out. Trying to get pull that branch out. There we go. Right, so I'm going to try the gin pliers on this, just see if I can peel this back a bit, make a more natural scar. No, didn't have enough of it. Let's see if we can grab that. Try a rake. Right, let's get the scalpel blade. That's what I'm going to do with this. Just to define the edge. Bit of a shallow. just going to try and join both of these scars up. The heartwood of this tree, the ash tree, is very, very hard. The sapwood is quite soft actually, so you can see the way the scalpel's digging into it and making nice marks into it. So this is going to need a lot more refinement when I do get my replacement Dremel. Then I'll come back and we'll scar it up a little bit. Oh, that's good. Good job, I've got a spare one. All that. That's good. Can't find where I look. Let's see where they are. Maybe around somewhere. Oh, there they are. I can see them. Right, so we'll just put a new blade on the scalpel. There we go. Alright, that should help a little bit. Ah, it's cutting lovely. You'd be very careful with these scalpel blades, they are surgically sharp, so just be a little bit careful if you use one of these. Extremely careful not to cut myself. Try and go into the deadwood, the old scar. See if I can grab that with the pliers and rip that backwards. just taking small slithers with the blade. It is a very delicate blade. And when I'm going into the hard deadwood, I'm being extremely careful. Right, that's about all I can do with that today. I really need a carving tool to make the best job of it. Put a few striations in the deadwood so that can start to rot back on its own.
Penelope, why did you look at me?
Right, so I'll rough that up at a later date. Let's just have a quick look at the overall scheme of things. Just looking for, well, I'll bring that up as the new leader. Take all of this off. I'll break that down there. That might be an idea. There we go, that's better. And then this can be the new leader. Just going to wire that up there. Just do a little bit more work on this. Crush it and twist it. Oh, very good. Right, going to try and crush where that old branch was there. That's got it. Just going to neaten up this edge with the scalpel. Right, let's get some wire so we can wire that up. One of these bits should be enough. And that one, really strong enough. Just straighten it. Go. Just got that fairly straight. So, might go around the back of that actually. And up there. There we go. Right, so if I anchor it around that main branch there, if I come up around the back, then that's going to allow me to put some wound sealant on the wound without catching the wire in it. There we go, it's just about the right amount. Perfect. Finally twist with the pliers. There we go. So that's going to be the front. Right, so it's just a case of wiring those branches down. I'm going to wire that one down a little bit as well. So this one should do for that. Come down. Right, so I'm just going to wrap that around the tree. I'm going to wire two branches with the same piece of wire on this one. one to the right and one to the left, so the coils don't come undone. Do the same with those two as well, wire those together. A bit more that way. And the back of that one. That one. I'll see if I can get a piece of wire under this root and then just anchor that tree to it. Right, let's make a hole. So twist that around there. That should do that. Very clever. That one wants to come up a slight, so I'm just going to twist the whole of that branch. And just anchor that around the back of the other branch there. Twist, brings that horizontal, snip off the wire.
Where's the keyboard? Keyboard.